Today I want to briefly reflect with you on the need and the absolute necessity to learn foreign languages. It's very, very important. Why? First of all, because it's very unlikely today that you are going to stay in your country forever. Immanquably, you would desire to take a holiday somewhere else, be it in the foreign country just adjacent to yours or somewhere else further. And if you don't know the language available and used in that country or that region, you'll be stuck because you cannot read anything on the streets, you cannot read directions, you cannot ask for direction, you cannot communicate with the people, and what you will see is like a truncated way, a truncated view of that country. Second reason, to develop the flexibility of the brain and understand that there are many ways of expressing yourself, many ways of saying the same thing. I give you an example. In English, suffering, suffering is suffering. In French, it is souffrir, kind of the same construction. In Igbo, one of the languages in Nigeria, souffrir is tafufu, that is masticating pain. And that is quite a different way of seeing suffering. So you need to understand. Secondly, you see that all the languages structure sentences differently. Where you put the verb in French in the middle of the sentence is not where you put it in German. So you have to understand, and it humbles you when you know that your truth is not, in terms of languages, is not the one of everybody. People have a different way of putting things together in their head before they express it. There are many varieties of thinking. Third reason is to interrogate in and question others. Entering into communication, conversation, starting a conversation with people, you need to know their language, or at least there must be on both parts a faint idea about the way to communicate, because otherwise it will be difficult. I know someone who met her husband in a country that was neither his nor hers. And the language of that country was not even the language they used to communicate. But two of them knew another language, not a fourth language, and that's the way they communicated. So communication is a must. It's very, very, sometimes even a matter of life and death. And to communicate, you need to know even a bit of the language of the other. Fourth reason is to facilitate travel. I'd already hinted about that. You cannot travel easily. I give you an example. I went to southern Italy some years back. I didn't know Italian. I'd bought a kind of dictionary, but I just wanted to buy a stamp at the post office. And because I didn't see the post office, I tried to buy a stamp. And because I didn't know how it was called in Italian, I tried French, I tried English. Then they didn't know either of these languages. So in the end, I couldn't buy my stamp until I had to request an Italian to do it for me. Fifth reason is to get a more accurate idea about our planet and our part in it. It will humble you, it will put you down to size, to know that your country is not the heart of the world, is not the best country in the world, and your language is not the best. It's just one of those millions of languages. Sixth reason, learning languages is part of a mental exercise that is highly recommended by science. It has been proven that learning and practicing foreign languages keeps old age at bay. And so we keep our brain better by using foreign languages. And then, last but not least, why should you learn a foreign language? Most people decide, well, I will learn it because I want that one, I want to go on holiday to Spain, so let me learn Spanish. Or I just like the Greek culture, let me learn Greek. But there are more reasons, and one of them I give you. In France, today, in Château-Chinon, a small town, there is what is called an institute, the European Institute for Social Sciences, in French, Institut Européen pour les sciences humaines. So you will think, when I tell you that institute is going to study social sciences and European stuff, because it is the title. But the title is deceptive, highly deceptive. And if you go and check Google, which most people wouldn't do, you discover that actually that institute and other institutes with the same name in Europe are actually universities that are Islamic universities. All they study is Arabic language and Muslim culture. That's all. And it's written plainly for all to read, for all to see. But it's not written in the title. It's not told in the title. And by the side, you see something written in Arabic. If you don't believe in Google, you'll find. What does it say? That first of all, what you see is accompanied by words in another language that you can neither read nor understand. So if you don't know Arabic, you're stuck. You have to believe what is written in French. And what is written in French is a cover-up. Anytime a translation is not offered, and even if the translation is offered, it may not say what is the truth. It has happened time and again that people say many things in Arabic. There's a speech, a public speech in Arabic, either in a mosque or public space. And then they translate it for you into French or English or whatever your language is. I inform you today, solemnly, that probably most times what is offered you as a translation is not accurate. The reason being that the Quran encourages Muslims not to say the whole truth. It's part of the commands of the Quran. So I engage with you. I encourage you. Study foreign languages for all the reasons I've given you, but particularly study Arabic and read the Quran. And the Quran, you may read it in translation. It may not say exactly what it was in Arabic, but at least it will give you a fair idea about what you can understand. So the truth lies in knowledge. Knowledge is solid. The Bible says you will know the truth, and if you know the truth, it will set you free. You will be able to read in the original. It's just like any type of book in a foreign language. As a linguist and a scholar in translation, I've known reading Latin, reading Greek, reading Spanish, reading Igbo, reading English that's not my own first language, that there's a lot that lies between the original and the translation, and part of the original can never, with the best will, best goodwill can never be completely translated. Some words cannot be translated. Some words, people decide not to say what it is in the original and give you something else instead. Unless you are able to read the original, and of course you cannot know all languages, but choose carefully those ones that are life and death for you, very important for you, and be guided in that. Study them, know the truth, and you will be feeling better, you'll be freer.